My name is Makwandi Sonnenberg. I'm just a regular guy from Uganda. Here, I share regular conversations about my life with the hope that the things I share here can help you have meaningful conversations with the regular people out there and that you may become more aware of yourself than you've been before. This is a show about connection with each other and with ourselves. Each episode has a topic that I want you to take to your journal or to your regular people or share on social media using the hashtag RegularGuyUG. This is about digging deeper and sharing our stuff. I'll go first. Today's episode, the 5 things that I do to move on after a breakup. This episode is for you if you've just broken up with your partner or you're struggling to move on after a relationship. There is nothing more painful than a breakup. It just doesn't end the relationship. It also destroys your self-esteem, leaving you feeling lonely, unwanted, and dejected. It can destroy your well-being, especially if you still love your ex. More often, my breakups have taken me by surprise because I still had feelings for my ex. And this made moving on very difficult. These are the 5 things that I do to move on after a breakup. The first thing that I do is cut off all communication. I don't want to know where she is or who she is with. I know this is harsh, but it protects my mental health. Once the relationship is over, everything goes back to being about me. It is time to focus on me. There is no need of knowing how she's doing or what her plans for the weekend are. That becomes irrelevant information, especially if you want to move on. Keeping in constant contact only makes me confused, and right now I'm trying to clear my head of those feelings and emotions. The second thing that I do is I don't entertain any relationships whatsoever with my ex. I mean, there is something that people say that I really hate. Like, let's be friends. I mean, they can't love you, but they can be your friends. I mean, what does that even mean? I know what I wanted. Don't try to confuse me. I know what I wanted. I have enough friends. I'm not recruiting more. I don't want to be friends with you. It's difficult to be friends with someone you love. And being with someone, having been in love with someone, the kind of love that is more than friendship, and then you want to reduce it, for me it feels like the love I had for you is here, and then you're telling me to degrade it to here. And I'm finding it difficult to go down. I mean, how am I going to convince myself that right now this doesn't exist, but this exists? It's confusing. So in that kind of thing, I can't entertain any relationships whatsoever with my ex. I just can't be friends with someone I love so much. There are things that I want to do that I won't do with my friend. So being friends with my ex isn't going to cut it for me. I think that people that still entertain friendships with their exes are holding on to those relationships because they're secretly trying to revive them, or there is a child involved. Don't get me wrong, I don't spite my ex. When we break up, I don't carry hate or anger. I'm not spiting them. I just can't be friends with them. Right now, it's so difficult. I'm still processing the feelings that I was enjoying, and now that they're not there, I have to process these feelings that they're gone. I have to process the disappointment, and I cannot, in that kind of processing, I cannot involve in new feelings of friendship. It's just too much. I cannot do it. Maybe years from now, or months or days, I don't know. But it's honestly a long game for me. Another point, forget the past. Like I said, for me, my breakups always take me by surprise. I still have feelings for my ex. And so this leaves me with so much anger, regret, constant thoughts of what happened, what could possibly have led to this breakup. I must tell you, the more you think about it, the more you drown yourself in the pain. It gets more painful every time you replay the scenarios in your head, and you cannot get to the point that satisfies you as to why the relationship ended. You always torn between anger and regret and a lot of what ifs, and you don't know what to do. It's so painful when you're at that point where you know you have nothing to do about it. It's all of it out of your control. But you feel like you should control something. You should have known. You should have seen it coming. So you turn in that kind of thing, and you're blaming yourself, and you're cursing yourself, and you hate yourself. what I normally do is abandon the past. I know it's very difficult to forget such profound emotional experience and just abandon it, but slowly you can do it. I teach myself to look at things the way they are, objectively, without blaming without blaming myself, without looking at conviction part, but just look at things the way they are. Self-talk is what can help you navigate through this situation, so that you can look at something, you can look at the things that happened, the things that you think might have led to that breakup. You look at all the possible things that happened. You look at them objectively and how everything led to that point, so that this can help you forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made or for the things that didn't go wrong, and then it can also help you forgive your ex, because one thing you must understand is that nobody is perfect, and a relationship cannot break up because of one person. It takes two to be in a relationship. That's why it's called a relationship. So you might have done something wrong, and then your ex might have done something wrong. So looking at things the way they are, and looking at the scenarios that played out to that breakup, helps you to understand your contribution, and then you can forgive yourself. You can forgive your ex, because at the end of the day, we are not in control of what we are going to do. Because right now I can't be talking like this and then I lose a temper, maybe I slap somebody. Sometimes there are things that come to us without us wanting them to happen. So you have to forgive yourself for that. So self-talk helps you navigate through this and helps you to understand and look at things in a more objective way, in a way that forgives you and in a way that forgives your partner. Furthermore, the next thing that you can ask yourself is, that I normally ask myself, is what is my reality? What are the circumstances before me and how do I navigate them? It is very easy when you break up with someone to be torn between what actually is happening and what you think would be happening. Because I mostly catch myself most of the time when talking about my breakup, let's say with a friend, I always say, if circumstances were different, I think I would go back to them and love them without hesitation. But this thinking is wrong, because you're thinking only about the good things. But if there were only good things happening in that relationship, how come you broke up? Because good things cannot lead to a breakup. So there must have been certain things that were bad that maybe you're overlooking right now because you're not clear-headed. So you have to ask yourself the reality of your situation. What is going on right now, and focus on that, and not think of what you think should be happening, or the what ifs and all the fantasies that are playing out in your head. The what if the scenario played out differently? What if you didn't do this? What if you didn't do that? Stop thinking about that and focus on the reality that is happening. This will give you a chance to understand what happened, understand yourself, and understand your partner, and then understand the circumstances that led to this, and then you can do self-reflection on your contribution, and then understand the things that you should never repeat should you get in another relationship, or the things that you should abandon. And understanding this whole affair, understanding your reality, can help you to navigate the way to move on, because now you will understand that you're handling this, and then it will help you to just continue and move forward in life. It is okay to still love your ex. Most of the time when I experience breakups, I'm always still in love with my ex. And when we break up, I feel so angry, I feel so sad, I feel so disappointed, I hate, I have all those feelings. But deep down, I still love my ex. And it's crazy how the body processes all those emotions at the same time. Like, you can feel spite and then feel love, which is totally weird, but it's there, and it is okay. Because I still love my ex, it's difficult for me to move on. So I don't beat myself up. I don't expect myself to move on tomorrow or the next minute. I know that it's difficult because I still love her. And this love for her is evidence that I was deeply rooted into this emotion with her. So I wasn't just there to be happy or to make merry, but I was indeed sincerely rooted in these feelings. So it is okay for you to still have these feelings. It is okay to experience difficulty not forgetting them or to still think about them. It is okay. You have to understand that, and you don't have to beat yourself up for it. Love was a good thing, and love is still a good thing. You have to understand that. The more difficult it takes for you to move on from your ex, the more difficult you find it hard to forget them and to stop thinking about them, is evidence of how strong that love was. So you don't have to beat yourself up, you don't have to hate yourself, but rather accept and understand that you are human and that you are capable of getting and giving the love. And this right here is evidence of it. But I remind myself that this love has now changed. It's not possessive. It's now about acceptance. It's like a love that I have for a place that I once visited and that was so good. I love the place, but I don't have plans to go back to it. And I'm now looking forward to experiencing new adventures. The bonus point is, I love myself. This means that I understand, I forgive, I accept. The love you have for yourself gets tested when you break up. It's easy to get lost between anger, disappointment, and feeling sad and dejected for yourself. You blame yourself for so much, and you even wonder whether you'll ever find someone like your ex. This happens to me every time, and what I do is change how I talk to myself. I remind myself that I am good, and I have everything it takes to shine in someone's life, and that light can be redirected back to me, and that breaking up with my ex is not a reflection of me or her, but it was due to exceptional circumstances that were beyond our control. I maintain a confidence that I will continue to attract love because I am filled with qualities that draw people to me. Lastly, of my regular rants today, moving on is important and is not a sign of weakness or a sign that you've not done enough. It is a sign of acceptance of the circumstances before you and doing whatever it takes to navigate and get back on top. Moving on doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. So give yourself the time. It is like drawing a curve. There are rapid rises and rapid falls, but sooner or later, it settles. So allow yourself to go through the gradual process. Sometimes you're here, sometimes you're like this. It will keep like that until it settles. So give yourself the peace. Don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself the time and understand that there are those days when you're happy, when you're not thinking about your ex, and there's times when you sunk low because you miss them so much. So give yourself the peace. Do not blame yourself for going back after moving forward. It settles after some time. So accept to commit to these things that I have given you, coupling them with any that you might have, and believe in yourself that you have what it takes to come out on top. Let me know what you think. Let me know your 5 points or 5 things that you do to move on after a breakup in the comment section, or you can DM me using the links in the description. See you in the next episode.